Hello, good evening, and welcome to the Virtual Racers Club. And you are joining us here for a look back at Thursday evening's racing. We're doing it on a replay, and we're at Colorado Springs for round 5 of the WRX Challenge. And it's, like I said, it's on the mud at Colorado Springs for 3 sprint races. And it'll be they qualified for the first race, and then in the second race, a reverse result standing start. And in the sprint race, it will be a reverse results standing start again. And there isn't much else to tell you, really. We're using the Isle of Man time attack car from Subaru. And the championship's been rather interesting. Let's get the table up. But, oh God, we've got decimal points in it now. It's getting mathematical. I don't know if I can read that. Right then. I don't know where to do the table or to do the grid. Here we do. We do the table. You can stare at Colorado Springs for a bit longer. So Anton Poika is at that top of the table with 220.5 points. And Daz is in second with 174 points. Homesick Alien is third on 159 points, with Catula in fourth on 139 points. Ensign Ewart is fifth with 134 points, with Skyjacker sixth on 117 points. Koikap seventh on 104.5 points, with Matt Psycho eighth on 96.5 points. Jokers was ninth is in 94 points, with Barry Twins 10th on 82.5 points. Pat is 11th on 71.5. Majid 12th on 55.5. That's not bad, is it, in a Subaru? Yeah. And Bandit 13th on 39.5 points. The 0.5 is because they get the same points each round, but it has to be divvied up between the races. And the last race was 2 races, and somehow that made it go into the points. Let's have a look at the grid. I haven't got it written down, so it could be bad. So I think they qualified for 10 minutes here on the mud in the Subaru. And let us look, shall we? Oh, God, we're right above pole. And they're sitting in pole, car number 16, and Matt Psycho in the Leighton House-sponsored Subaru. Damn fine. Anton Poika, second place on the grid, the championship leader in the trail-breaking races liveried Subaru. Third place goes to Daz on the grid in the Sega-sponsored WRX. Homesick Alien, fourth in his Repsol. Fifth then is Cthulhu in the Red Bull, and he's good in the mud. He'll be one to look out for. That is fifth in it. Hang on, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Skyjacker is sixth in the Monster Wild liveried Subaru. It's crazy. Makes your eyes go funny. Then we've got Bazza there in seventh. Car 74 looking to get some action done. It doesn't feel like his season started in the Subarus yet, and we're at round 5. Ensign Ewart sitting in 8th in the Rich Energy Subaru. I bet the sponsors still haven't given him any cash yet, but there he is, sitting in 8th. 9th for the Rizla Subaru of Pat, and he'll be starting just ahead of Koikap, who's in the traditional Subaru colours. Beautiful stuff. So that is the guys. Oh, hang on, wrong button. And we shall get on with a 15-minute sprint race around the muddy banks of Colorado. In the chat, though, before we go, Pat saying hiya. Pat saying, I was in these races but can't remember most of what happened. And Skyjacker said, oh, good afternoon, sir. Why, hello. It might not be great because I'm disorganised. Look, I'm so disorganised. And away we go. Ooh, they all jolted. So we've got the lights up. We're getting ready. Psycho versus Anton Poika, and it's go, go, go here for race 1, round 5 of the WRX Challenge Season 5, and Matt Psycho belts away from the lead and keeps that first place away from Anton Poika. Further down then, Homesick Alien got the jump on Daz, but Daz is there on the inside. He's looking to get some action going, and he's up and over the bumps and ahead of the Alien, but Cthulhu arrives on the scene like Batman. My God, he came from nowhere. Homesick Alien, though, comes back at the attack, and it's still Matt Psycho leading from Anton Poika, and there's a battle royale here, and Skyjack is joining the party. He's slipping in there. Into Viv, we've got someone out wide. It's Dan. It's Dan, and Skyjacker slams that car around the outside of Homesick Alien, and we're just looking at dust. My gosh. Let's get on board with Skyjacker. As you see, Daz and Cthulhu just ahead. Just behind, we don't see much. There's Homesick Alien there. My God. Oh, Skyjacker hitting that little barrel that was hanging out, and he slipped down behind Homesick Alien, and it looks like that's the only position he's lost at the moment, as Bazza, Pat, Big Dan and Koikap all battle it out. But you can't see much, can you? I forgot how tragic this game is. It's great on the mud, but it's visually not the best. So Matt Psycho leads. He's pulling away from Anton Poika at the moment, with Cthulhu under pressure from Daz. Oh, and Anton Poika isn't that far behind, and Daz gets a beautiful move done on Cthulhu there, slides up the inside of him and manages to maintain it whilst hitting purples. Well, everyone does on lap 2, and now Cthulhu wants to come back under flipping how these cameras are crap. And there you go, Cthulhu gets it done. They're not, it's just me. I think it's because Cthulhu moved up to 3rd as I moved from 4th down to 5th, so it took me to Skyjacker. I don't know, it seemed weird. But Cthulhu gets the move done on Daz, and now he's up into 3rd. Anton Poika still chasing down Matt Psycho, who's holding strong there. Then we've got Skyjacker in 5th, and who's this? Bazza. Bazza right on the inside of him, bouncing over the curbs, and Skyjacker's gone massively sideways there. And Bazza, does he get the move? No, he does not get the move. He is stuck, crammed up behind as they go through the logs. A very dangerous part of the track, and Bazza's just looking for anything on Skyjacker. Further down, we've got Pat trying to keep Big Dan at bay. Ensign knew what Big Dan is. It's just for some reason does the nicknames in the replays. So Pat then holding ground from Ensign Newitt, with Koikap in 9th ahead of Homesick. So Homesick's had a big one, but he's caught back up. So, oh no, I've got a message from the missus. She's at Tesco's. I have to do something. This is going to be awkward. See if we have any washing powder. So Homesick Alien's just got past Koikap whilst I check out the washing powder situation in the thingamajig household. We're out into the conservatory. We're looking right now, and I would say that isn't a lot of washing powder. So I think I will reply with, go and get that washing powder. Right then, Homesick Alien's got a move done on Big Dan as Big Dan twirls around, does a little pirouette, and that is, unfortunate for him, gets powder. Oh my gosh, that was unfortunate. I didn't tell her I was streaming when she went out, so it's not her fault. Matt Psycho under pressure from Anton Poika. Anton Poika is up and through, and Anton Poika now leading this race ahead of Matt Psycho, and it's going to be a hard-fought battle between the Essex lad and the Flying Finn. Then we've got Cthulhu in 3rd. Cthulhu solid on the mud, and Daz chasing him down, though not too far out of it. Skyjacker maintaining that 5th place. We've seen him have a wild weekend here in the mud, but at the moment holding 5th and pulling away from the Baz. And then we've got Pat in 7th, looking quite solid there. But Homesick is cutting through the traffic. We assume he's had a bit of a moment earlier on. Oh, like a little bit like that one. Boom. He gets away with it. Beautiful stuff. But he's chasing down at Pat. And Pat must be feeling legit 2 inches taller, being ahead of the Alien, behind the Alien. Koi Carp in 9th, ahead of Big Dan. We saw his downfall, but he's chasing after Koi, giving it large. Boom. As they spin those tails around on the Subaru, chasing each other around the lovely, compact, muddy track of Colorado Springs. Anton Poiker brings it across the line ahead of Matt Psycho, and Daz has got ahead of Cthulhu. So big news, Daz getting the moves done in the Sega Subaru, and he is up, and away ahead of Cthulhu, chasing down the leaders who are hard racing each other right at this very moment and slowing each other down, I suggest. So that is helping Daz get back into this one. Psycho in the chat saying afternoon, and Matt Psycho saying missed 2 lead changes, and Koi saying perfect to listening while cleaning the van. Well, great. What, the whole washing powder situation. So there is Anton Poiker, ahead of Matt Psycho. Flying through the air they are, as Daz and Cthulhu very close together. Skyjack is all on his own now, it seems. He's got no one around him at all, with the Baz slipping back, and he is having a bit of a lonely race. But Pat not too far away, and Homesick Alien still chasing down. Oh, Matt Psycho is back in the lead. Anton Poiker's had a big one. He's dropped 2 places. So Anton Poiker making a small mistake possibly, and Matt Psycho back into the lead of this race. We are nearly 7 minutes into play of this 15-minute race, but Daz tenacious in his championship hunt, is wanting all the points, and he is hassling the side. Anton Poiker got the fastest lap on lap 2, is now having to look over his shoulder at a certain Spaniard that's eyeing up his podium. Daz then chasing down Matt Psycho, and Matt Psycho leads this race. Skyjacker in 5th, still all alone. Bazza, no one to worry him as well, but Homesick has managed to get past Pat, and he is looking for his next scalp in this race, with Pat in 8th. Big Dan has got himself ahead of the Koi, and Koi chasing him down. You can't see the distance between him and Big Dan. I think it's quite big, actually. Yeah, I think, it's huge. It's a chasm. So Matt Psycho at the 8-minute mark in this race, going through the logs, and he's looking solid with those purple sectors, and Daz dropping back away from Matt now. Matt's not got no pesky finish to annoy him. He is on his way, fully concentrated, and making his way around Colorado Springs in the Leighton House Subaru. Beautiful stuff. Daz now having a worry that he's got the Flying Finn just coming up behind him on his 6. And the thing with mud racing is it's very hard to defend. It's got to be hard to defend. Cars are sliding around all over the place. You're holding on. You're white-knuckling it, in all fairness. And you're just hoping that the person behind's slide is worse than your slide. And at the moment, Anton Poiker is in full control of his Subaru as he comes up to... Whoa, did he clip it? I think... No, he's still there. I thought he clipped the apex then. Dad's going out wide onto the grass. And Cthulhu, Anton Poiker, the nickname thing's really starting to... Only with Anton Poiker I'm stuck with it. Keep looking up the name and wanting to say Cthulhu. But Cthulhu there is in 4th place. And he's a little bit behind those guys. And there's Skyjacker's miles behind Cthulhu. But Skyjacker looks like he's being caught by... Baz gives him a little bop to say hello, and he's through. Ooh, I don't know. Was that not in the mud? I don't think you can steward easily on the mud. I think Skyjacker's woes happened a lot sooner than Baz bopped him up the butt. But Skyjacker, with a very slidey Subaru in his hands at the moment, is feeling the pressure from Homesick Alien, making his way through the pack. Then we've got Big Dan now ahead of Pat. So Pat slipped down the order again after Homesick Alien, letting Big Dan through. And Koi Carp, just hoping that someone has some misfortune ahead of him. Meanwhile, Mad Psycho, absolutely no one around him. He's out for a Sunday drive and just loving life, it would seem. Daz, though, would love to get a piece of that action, and he has dropped Anton Poika somewhat in the chat. Racer Brown saying, hello, how are we today? I'm good, man, I'm good. It's a struggle. This is a struggle on a Sunday morning when you've just got up. Yes, I had a lay-in. Oh, Daz has got the move. No, Daz is trying to keep the position. It's Anton Poika trying to take it, isn't it? Anton Poika right on him. They're leaning on each other as they come across the line. And Daz at the moment driving like a lion, keeping Anton Poika at bay. And this is helping Matt Psycho build a bigger space between them. We're in 11 minutes of this 15-minute race, and it's hard for Cthulhu in fourth, and it's hard to cut away from Anton Poika and Daz at the moment. I'm sure there is action. Homesick Alien's got himself past Skyjacker, and Bazza we saw get past Skyjacker, so Bazza's in fifth. Great drive for Bazza, I said on the grid about his season starting, and this is looking like it's gone kaboom in his face. He's fifth place. Beautiful stuff. Homesick Alien trying to fight his way through with Skyjacker in seventh, Big Dan in eighth, Pat ninth. Pat very close to Big Dan, possibly fancies a chance. I thought it was close. Yeah, there's Big Dan. So there's a fight on there with Koi Carp, but at the moment second and third are hard at it, and it's a contact, and Daz through it, going through the logs with Anton Poika looking to get the move done. He's up the inside, he's shuffling him, and he's going around, and that's it. Anton Poika up into second. Daz then still got 2.5 minutes to come back at Anton Poika, but Anton Poika, once he gets going, man alive, he gets going. Daz in third, but he's miles ahead of Cthulhu. Bazza, he's not going to catch Cthulhu in this race, but he might have some hassle from Homesick Alien, sitting on board with the Alien as he chases down the Baz. We've got Matt Psycho leading this race with Anton Poika in second, Daz in third. Pat's got a move done. Pat's gone, I'm sure he has. He's got past Big Dan. So go on, Pat, and giving the barrier a little bop. And Big Dan chasing him down. Koi Carp miles off of that battle. Matt Psycho miles off of the battle behind him. Anton Poika just trying to keep that lead ahead of the Daz. Daz finding a huge bump there on the outside of the track. Cthulhu, love one of those ahead of him to have a spin as we're well into the 13th minute of this race. Homesick Alien has got past the Baz. My God, I've missed every single Homesick Alien move. Unbelievable. I always keep thinking I'll come back because he's catching someone up, and then he's ahead of him by the time I come back. And I'm not taking a long time, you know. I am trying to be thrifty. So the Baz is there in sixth, losing that position to Homesick Alien. Skyjacker seventh, Pat in eighth, Big Dan ninth, Koi Carp in 10th. And it's Matt Psycho, though, that has shown the class today in this first race of Colorado Springs, round 5 of the WRX Challenge Season 5. And Matt Psycho adding another win. I'm sure he's had some. He had a win at Lago Maggiore last week, so yeah, that was his first win this season. He's had a couple of podiums, and yeah, another win on the mud. It's a big one. So Anton Poika trying to give Daz the slip. Daz We're 14 and a half minutes into this race. I think Matt Psycho might cross that line before the timer runs out. In all fairness, so Catula, Homesick. Bazza is ahead of Skyjacker, that's already as it was. Pat's held that position ahead of Big Dan. And Koikart we see, so he did cross the line before the timer run out, but some of these aren't. I'm not sure where the line is now. They're on the final lap, so has he got through? No, it's Catula who finishes first in fourth. Then Homesick Alien, a great comeback for fifth place there from Homesick Alien. What a drive, what a drive. So Homesick Alien brings it to the line for fifth place. The Bazza gets sixth, and that's solid, man. That's solid points. Skyjacker in seventh. Oh no, he's gone to the pits. It might be Pat that finishes in seventh. It is. Pat seventh, Skyjacker going through the pits. It's too far back for Koikart, but he wins ninth place in the pits. Loses a place, I suppose. Koikart there, Matt Psycho, and Daz did get through the line, so Daz is still trying to hunt down his foe of Anton Poika. Matt Psycho absolutely delivered today in race one. He put up with the pressure from Anton Poika. Lost the lead a couple of times, but just knuckled on and got himself ahead of the Poiks. And here he comes to take his second win in the championship. Beautiful stuff from Matt Psycho. Anton Poika, championship leader, keeps his closest rival Daz at bay as they cross the line. Second place, and Daz gets third. Take a boo, my son. Superb stuff. What a podium. Matt Psycho, Anton Poika, and Daz. Catula finishing in fourth, with Homesick Alien in fifth. The Baz-anator in sixth, with Pat coming home in seventh. Big Dan, he had an up and down race, comes home in eighth. Right, let's see if we can do this transition rather swiftly and nicely. It doesn't look like it, does it? For Pete's sake. So they'll be reversing those orders and starting again for race two a bit later in the afternoon. Racer Brown saying, oh no, Skyjacker, whoopsie. That's the pits thing. And Racer Brown saying, great racing, Anton and Daz. So there we are. Yes, so they're starting in the reverse order of the first race. Finishing results, sorry. So that's Coy. Oh, hang on. I haven't done anything yet. I heard beeps and I haven't got... Why can't you just do that for me? Can't I just have a preference and always do that? Okay. So, reverse order of the first race. Quick up on pole. Another 15 minutes around Colorado Springs, race two, and we're away. And it's Koikart from Skyjacker, but Big Dan's getting in there early doors in the Rich Energy Subaru, and he gets it up into second place. Skyjacker having some drip from the Baz, and the Baz gets it done. Bazza gets it done up into third place. Skyjacker then slipping down to fourth from second, but he's got the move done on the Baz. He's back up into third, and Bazza now in fourth, and there's a whole gaggle of Subarus in there. Look at this. Shall we just sit in with Matt Psycho and see what he sees? Look at that. What is that? Wow, just driving into cloud. Oh, he slowed down because he's driving. Oh, he had a knock with Homesick, obviously. He's redressed with Homesick Alien. And now Homesick Alien and Matt Psycho both on the back foot in this race as Daz sits there in that plume of dust in Anton Poika's wake. And just on the outside, I can see the Baz there, flitting around. Pat's just ahead. Pat's to the side of us. He's got by Pat. My God, how do they see anything? So Daz then is up and Pat's dropped right back. Skyjacker's had a big moment as well. He's dropped back and there's yellow flags, but who knows? Big Dan leads from Koikart. Anton Poika in third with Barry in fourth. Daz in fifth. Catula in sixth. Matt Psycho seventh. Homesick Alien in eighth, Pat ninth, Skyjacker is 10th and he's battling it out with Pat, but it's Big Dan at the moment. And this is this his big day? Is this a win for Big Dan? Matt Psycho in the chat saying these races are proper intense, so hard to keep hold of the car, let alone racing. And Racer Brown saying, bloody hell, could you lot see anything? It was shocking, wasn't it? Big Dan, though, has got a nice lead, and Coy's made a mistake, and that's let Anton Poyker through. Anton Poyker up into second place, and Coy Carp's dropped down to third. Daz is in fourth, and wow, these guys have just floated through the pack in a lap or two. It doesn't take long, but Bazza doesn't want to give up the position easily. Coy Carp again looking a little shaky around the outside of the corner, and Bazza is in there for the kill, is he? Because it's just dust. So all we can see is dust. It's dusty. And Matt Psycho then up into 6th there, and he's got Cthulhu to beat next. Holmes Acadian in 8th, Pat 9th, Skyjacker in 10th. This is ridiculous. It's like bloody Fear and Loathing in Las Vegas when he goes to cover the bikes in the desert, and it's just dust. It's just sand everywhere. You can't see the bikes. So Big Dan leads with Anton Poyker in 2nd. Daz is in 3rd with Cthulhu. 4th. I was trying to drink, sorry. Now I'm going to have a cough. Homesick Alien there, you got just seeing him getting by Baz, and the Baz looking very shaky, but Baz is back. Did Homesick lift? I can't even see. I don't know if you're keeping track of this, but it's very difficult. I'm not. I don't know. Matt Psycho, though, I know, is there with 3 other cars. Coy Carp slipping down now. And Homesick Alien up into 5th. Matt Psycho 6th. Bazza in 7th. Coy Carp in 8th. Big Dan still leading, though. And that is the most important thing. That's what I coughed on Racer Brown. Racer Brown said dust, lol. Yeah, I'm choking on all the dust. Oh, Big Dan's gone bigly wide there, but he got away with it. Look at that. It looks like he's on a trampoline coming down that hill. So Big Dan, but he can't drive too recklessly because Anton Poyker and Daz are right there. Shall we sit on board with a Daz? Oh, God. I'm sure it's not like that in the racing. Surely it can't be. So, Daz driving into Big Dan's lost the lead to Anton Poyker. Front end of his Subaru spinning around, and it looks like Daz wants to get the move done on Ensign Ewer as Anton Poyker retakes the lead of the race. And there he is, glorious. Oh, Big Dan's going wide there, and Daz might be able to get a move done. They're side by side, and Daz is up and into 2nd. Big Dan having a shaky lap on lap 4 after holding the lead for so long. And he's down into 3rd place with Cthulhu in 4th. Matt Psycho now up into 5th. The Baz in 6th, ahead of Homesick Alien, who's ahead of Coy Carp, who is ahead of Skyjacker, who's duking it out with Pat at the moment, further back down the grid. Anton Poyker leads this race from Daz. And Daz trying his hardest. Big Dan, though, all up in oh no. Big Dan hit the big barrels just before the logs, and Cthulhu has made up a position, and Big Dan drops down into 4th as Cthulhu sets chase. And has Cthulhu had a win? Yeah, Cthulhu has had a win this season, but it was back at round 1, so he'll be hungering for some more. He's had another podium. He had a 2nd place at the first race of Red Bull Ring and a win at the 2nd race. He got a podium at Sardinia. He got 2nd place at Nürburgring. So for some reason didn't score any points in the 2nd race of Lago Maggiore. He must have quit out. But yeah, Cthulhu looking for scalps. Most certainly looking for a win, I would assume. Daz chasing down Anton Poyker, and Anton Poyker hasn't got a million miles away from Daz. And we saw Anton Poyker can make mistakes in the first race. He slipped down the order a bit, but at the moment the Flying Finn seems to have it all under control as he takes it into the logs. With Daz set in chase. Further down we've got Catula in a podium position, not too far behind those boys. Matt Psycho up into fourth, a beautiful drive and the fastest lap to boot, and he's got himself ahead of Big Dan as well. And Ensign Ewart is seeing this race slipping away from him. Homesick Alien next on the order, but it looks like Homesick Alien made a small mistake there, and he's got the Baz to worry about. Car 74 big and wide in his mirrors. Koikarp 8th, bit of a better race than the last one. 7 minutes in and he's 8th place ahead of Skyjacker, who is battling it out with the Pat. Although, is he? Because I think there's a big gap between them now. There is quite a big gap between them. So back to the lead is Anton Poiker ahead of Daz, and Daz is on it. Daz is not letting Anton Poiker even get away from him. He's just pushing hard. Right, in the chat, Matt Psycho saying it is. That's how bad it is in the when you play it. The dust, I think, is what he's saying. Ensign Ewart saying couldn't find any rhythm round here. That's because it's bumpy as hell and all the corners are a bit of a weird camber. Ensign Ewart saying the jumps were so random. Car behaved differently every time you took them. Yep. And Pat saying the dust on replays does make visibility worse than it does from on board than it is in races. At least that's my view from the old console. So yes, that's the racing is. So Daz then in second, chasing down Anton Poiker. Catula is in third. He's fast. And like I said, he's already had good results on the muds. And watch out for Catula. Although Anton Poiker hasn't put a foot wrong so far in this race, flying. Matt Psycho in fourth, the winner of race one. Going at it. Looking to see if there's anything in this race for him. Big Dan, who said he couldn't get the rhythm, couldn't find the rhythm around Colorado Springs. The bumps very random, and car just felt unsettled all the way around. You can see it's twitching here, it's twitching there, on board with Homesick, who slips on by. And there you go, he's finding some random bumps as well. Whoa, Homesick Alien. There he goes, letting Big Dan back through again, finding some of those random bumps. Bazza sees a yellow flag. Well, I don't know, that might have been from Homesick small off just then, possibly. But Bazza, oh, you get so hopeful, especially in these muddy races. You get a yellow flag and you just think, ooh, I'm going to get a position. But no, not for the Baz this time around. And Koikarp in 8th with Pat in 9th. And Skyjacker is in 10th. He's pitted. What's he pitted for? Did he just have a drive through the pits for a laugh? I don't know. But he's on an out lap for some reason. So Anton Poiker leads this race from Daz. And Catula in third with Matt Psycho chasing them down. Matt Psycho, fastest man on the track at the moment. And as it's spaced out, you can see the dust not as much of an issue for the drivers. Lovely control of Matt Psycho's car there, really slinging it into those corners. Just putting that front wheel on the mud, letting the back end slide around the dust. And he's closing that gap to himself and Catula every time around. And Catula not too far off of Daz. As you can see, Daz's trail of dust just off in the distance. Homesick Alien now is ahead of Big Dan. We saw earlier he tried to get ahead, but he had a moment. But he's got himself ahead of Big Dan now, and he's on the move into 5th place. for the Alien, and Big Dan slipping from the lead down into 6th spot. I'm hoping really Bazza doesn't have a good one behind him, but Bazza is absolutely tearing it. Look at him go. That's a beautiful camera angle. I want to try and keep that camera going. No. So Coy in 8th. He's on his own again, but in a better position. But he's found himself. He doesn't see many cars in this round. You might think there's a glitch in the lobby. He's like thinking, is there any other cars in this lobby? Skyjacker, he got that pit stop done for some reason. I'm guessing he just went wide and accidentally drove through the pits. And now he's caught up Pat and got by him. So Skyjacker on a mission today. And Anton Poika, where are we? We're into the 12th minute. Not many laps left for these boys. And I tell you, there's a few of these arrows still quite close together up here in this map. With Daz ahead of Cthulhu and Matt Psycho, fastest man on track, in 4th. And there's a train there of danger. Train of danger. All 4 cars you can see virtually in the same shot. Anything can happen, but Anton Poika trying to stay strong in the lead with Daz chasing him down, keeping that pressure on Anton Poika all of the way. And there is really nothing else, as Home 6 just got past Big Dan. Big Dan staying with the Alien though. He's not letting the Alien get away from him. I think Baz is all on his own. There's not really anyone with Baz. There's no one with Koi. And there is a bit of battling between, and Sky's done it again through the pit lane. He can't help himself. I think he fancies one of the mechanics. So Cthulhu is 3rd. I wanted to say Anton Poika, but I got it wrong again, so I tried to style that one out. But Anton Poika is leading this race. And in the chat, Binko saying, morning thingy, how are we today? I am good, thank you. And Ensign Hewitt saying, ooh, it's pit stop day, isn't it? I believe it is. I don't know. As Skyjacker put it on for an advertising. Let's have a look. One event. Pit Stop 2023, Episode 2. Join Thingy and Skyjacker as they review VRC's races, IRL, motorsports, and chat. Feel free to engage and join in the discussion. Yes, it is Pit Stop this evening. And Anton Poika leads the race from Daz. And Cthulhu in 3rd. And I don't know. We're 14.5 minutes into this race. Unless someone makes a mistake out in the front there, I think this could be the positions they finish in. It doesn't look like anyone's close enough to have a stab. Dan's a bit closer to the Alien, but I mean, I think it'd need the Alien to make a mistake for Dan to have a stab at that one. Baz is on his own. Ooh, Baz has gone. No, I thought Baz was spinning all the way around there. So the Baz is on his own with Coy chasing him down. 24.5 from Coy last time around, and 24.0 from Baz. Oh, hang on. Daz has finished. Daz, hang on. That didn't deserve that, and I apologise. I know I haven't been stopping and flicking him back, but it's the rally, innit? It's not worth it. So Anton Poika still leads the race as the timer runs out. He crosses the line, but Daz gets 2nd place with Cthulhu getting 3rd, and he was getting very close. Matt Psycho to Cthulhu, but Cthulhu another podium. Take a boo, my son. Matt Psycho getting 4th. Homesick Alien, can he keep that 5th place from Big Dan as they come around, and Big Dan's going for a move of the inside. Oh, he can't quite get it connected, and Homesick Alien 5th, Big Dan 6th, Bazza coming home in 7th place, and he got a 21 there near the end. 7th for Baz. Koi Kart finishing in 8th, loads better from race 1, and he should be happy with that. I bet he's using a pad as well, which has got to be difficult, but so does Skyjack. I think some of them prefer to use pads on the dirt than they do the wheel. But Koi Kart then getting himself a good 8th. Pat 9th. He's had that battle with Skyjacker all throughout the race, and he comes out top dog in the end from that race. And there goes Pat to get 9th spots at Colorado Springs race 2, round 5, and Skyjacker finishing it off in 10th. But Anton Poika, the greedy sod, wanted to do an extra lap, so we'll let Anton Poika do some showboating as he comes around the final corner. And it's Anton Poika. Is that his first win of the round? Matt Psycho won the last one, so Anton Poika, another win. Daz in 2nd, and Katula in 3rd. The usual suspects. What an absolute blinder. There you go, that one wasn't as long. Now, if that one wasn't as bad, I've got a feeling this one is going to be worse, because it's a night race. So I'm assuming we're going to see absolutely naff all. And this is just going to be 15 minutes of me moaning about not being able to see naff all. I might have to get a drink as well. I'm getting thirsty, man. 2 seconds. It's like a live broadcast. Give me 1 sec. Yeah, I'm back. It wasn't a fag break. I just needed to go and get a drink. Sorry. I wasn't very organised this morning. Okay, let's get on with this 3rd race, shall we? It's a reverse result again. It's night time, so we'll see naff all. And let's just sit back and enjoy what this could be. Look at that. Hang on, don't start yet, you morons. I haven't done the displays. I'm gonna need the displays in this one, because we're not gonna see. I don't even know, can I put car names on? We might have to put car. We'll go a little bit, but if it does get silly, we'll put car names on. It looks horrible, I know, but it's better than not knowing what's going on at all. So here we go, they're off. There's Skyjacker in the lead with Koi Carp in 2nd spot, and then Bazza in 3rd. It does look nice, nice, but it's silly. Skyjacker then in the lead with Big Dan now up into 2nd, Pat in 3rd. Oh my gosh. Homesick Alien in 4th place with Daz in 5th. Pat's 4th, there we go. We'll stick with Pat. We're just going to stick with Pat in these opening laps. Pat then 4th, 3rd, 4th, 5th. It's crazy fish out there at the moment. He's down to 8th. Look at it, how easy it can happen in the crowd. Daz is your man leading at the moment. It looks like a solid job there, pulled away. And Daz finished 2nd. He would have been at the back of the pack. He's done a super job to get through there and get up ahead in the lead. And Anton Poika, Cthulhu, and Matt Psycho duking it out on board with Matt Psycho. That is just absurd. It is absurd. It's not. They shouldn't put points to this one. This one should just be for fun. But Matt Psycho then, he's in 3rd. It's not bad, is it? I can't see some headlights behind him. That'd be Cthulhu. He slipped back quite a bit. And yeah, you've got Matt Psycho chasing down Anton Poika. Yeah, it's not too bad. If you're on the bonnet view, that's a lot better, isn't it? God. You have to be on a bonnet view. It's brighter in car than it is out. I suppose the lights are blinding us a bit. So Daz, up for a win. Has he had a win yet this season? I can't see any golds along the score table. Ensign Hewitt saying, ooh, it's pit stop day, isn't it? Yeah. Matt Psycho saying Sky practicing Joker stop for next season. Yeah. Ensign Hewitt saying engage. And Matt Psycho saying need some lift music. Oh, what, when I scooted off. So Daz is leading from Anton Poika, while Matt Psycho is in 3rd, and he's ahead of Cthulhu. A beautiful battle there between the top 4. Big Dan in 5th place. knocking on the door, flying through the air. Big Dan can do it all. Again. Ooh. Boing, boing. It's that corner, isn't it? You've got 2 bumps just going into the apex. It really is throwing off the oh, and he's hit the Baz. He's hit the barrier. Not Baz. He hasn't hit Baz. He's hit barrier. Homesick Alien then closing in. Oh, my God. Oh, but Homesick looks like he was struggling there. There you go. That's got to be better. So Homesick Alien, but Homesick Alien has got some close calls from Pat behind him. He's got to beware, as Pat will be wanting a piece of the action. Daz leads from Anton Poika. Matt Psycho in 3rd. And it's Big Dan that we're watching through our telescope from the point of view of Homesick Alien, whilst Pat Koikap are chasing the alien. Look, yeah, you can see the ground very unlevel going into that corner. And it's a big struggle for these drivers to keep that Subaru planted. It wasn't really built for the mud. It is a tarmac time attack car for the Isle of Man, so the car wasn't really designed for this terrain, but it deals with it so well that you have to unleash it on there. And you can see now Homesick really is starting to close up to Big Dan out there. Oh, what was the camera, that one? Let's have a look at the top of the end of the field then. Daz still leads this race from Anton Poika. And Anton Poika is there and thereabouts. But Anton Poika's got a big struggle on his hands. He's got a pesky old Matt Psycho chasing him down. And Matt Psycho, after the win from race 1, he fancies it again. Or could help his buddy Daz out and take some points away from Anton Poika. Daz chasing down Anton Poika this season for the championship, and it's any other season Daz would absolutely be caning this season, but Anton Poika has just hit the ground and ran with it. So Daz and Anton Poika are a cut above the rest of the field, I'd say. Matt Psycho having some good results, but I think when the drop scores come in, Matt Psycho might be interesting to look at. So I think he's had to drop a round already, and they get 2 rounds dropped at the end of the season. So Matt Psycho, he could still be in a shout for this championship. And Ensign Newitt saying, "Isn't it pretty though? Look at the sky." It is. It's very nice. I don't want to complain too much. It's lovely. Look at the sky. Look how it shines for you. Mwah. My wife made me a coffee because she is a wonderful person. So Matt has got Daz. Daz! What's happened to Daz? Hang on. I know I haven't been doing the replays, but 20 seconds ago, here is Daz. Oh, no. Yeah, it was the pit lane entry. Skyjacker has had that moment many a time. And yeah, Daz clipping the pit lane entry there. And it dropped him down to 4th behind Cthulhu, and he'll be absolutely fuming in that car. But he can do it again. We've got a long time in this race. Still got under just 9 minutes. And Anton Poika back into the lead, but Matt Psycho was hassling him, but it looks like Matt Psycho has slipped back, and now Cthulhu is the man that's looking very interested in that position of... Oh, he's got it, hasn't he? No. Cthulhu's down. Oh, is that 4th? Where is... Oh, I can't keep track. I should have put the names on the cars. So no, Cthulhu's racing Daz, sorry. Matt Psycho is still close to Anton Poika. I thought he'd slip back, you see. I thought he was racing Cthulhu. But it wasn't. It was Cthulhu racing Daz. Hey, Matt Psycho goes and takes the lead away from Anton Poika. And Anton Poika has, he said, that's not the script for this season. He's been on fire. And he imagines this one was going to be a slam dunk for him in the mud. But Matt Psycho really has stepped it up. We all thought he was scared to drive on the dirt because he usually avoids it, but he can drive on the dirt quite well as well. I think he got good results last time he was on the mud. Yeah, 2 podiums, so I mean, class. When you're class, I suppose it doesn't really matter what car you drive or what surface you're on. You're a racer, you know what I mean? So Matt Psycho then leads this race from Anton Poika with Daz in that podium position. He's managed to get by Cthulhu. Come on, Cthulhu. And then Big Dan in 5th. There is other people in this race, I tell thee. And Big Dan's having a good race at the moment, staying ahead of the Alien, Homesick Alien. I don't know if he had his new wheel back at that time, and if he did have his new wheel, would he have dared use it on the muds? So I'm not sure if Homesick Alien is on the G29 or on the, I don't know what he's got. I know he's got a fancy wheel. It could be Fanatec, it could be Thrustmaster, it could be anything. But he's got a fancier wheel, but I don't think he was using it back here. But I may be wrong. But he's really giving Big Dan a run for his money. Ensign Ewart absolutely flying. And we're not far away, are we, Ensign? Hey? We're not far away. What's the date today? The 12th? 12th? 13th? It's the 12th of February, and Picard's episode 1 is released on the 16th. Woohoo! Tigers! Ooh, I'm so excited. And I've got the other things to watch. I've managed to find a way of being able to watch Star Trek Different World or Different Planet, Different Union. I don't know. But it's the one with Pike in charge, and Discovery Season 4. So I am going to get my nerd on, you know what I mean? Matt Psycho still leads this race, and he's the fastest man on the track. He's leaving Anton Poika for dead. For dead there for Anton Poika. He cannot maintain the level of speed here at Colorado Springs that Matt Psycho is doing so. So Matt Psycho leads this race. He won the first race. He was very close to the podium. I think he was 4th in the second race, and it looks to me like he is going to take the 3rd race by storm. Anton Poika in 2nd, still scoring better than Daz, and Daz does not want that. Daz does not need that. Daz needs Anton Poika to have some real bad ones. Cthulhu. He's been thereabouts today, but he just can't quite get ahead of those boys ahead of him. Big Dan is having a big fight with Big Alien, and he's holding his own. And let's get on board with the Alien. Oh, he always worries me, the Alien, when he goes over there. I was on board with him last time they went over the line, and I always think he's going to clip that barrier thing. But at the moment, here we are on board with Homesick Alien, chasing down Big Dan. Big Dan trying to keep his Subaru rooted to the floor, and it's again a move, and we can barely see the move. Let's get out of the car, and that was a move. Beautiful. He just came up about him. I saw Big Dan bouncing, and then that was it. It was gone. So Homesick Alien up into 5th place ahead of Big Dan. Koikap 7th. So it's only got better and better for him as the rounds have gone on, because I think he finished 10th in the first race, 8th in the second race, and now 7th, and it doesn't look like he's got anyone around him to bother him whatsoever. Pat's in 8th. Oh God, but Pat's got trouble. Pat's got woes. Pat's just been overtaken by the Baz, and the Baz is up and into 8th place. I don't know how far he is. Oh, he's miles behind Coy. He's not going to be a concern for Coy, but he's got the move done on Pat, and just behind Pat is Skyjacker. And Skyjacker, he isn't too far. I don't know how many times he's been through the pit lane in this race, but he said in the chat, even though he had a terrible race, he had an amazing fun time in the chat with him and his little buddies, his little Y buddies, the Y gang, the little Y crew. They had a great time. Yellow flags though, yellow flags. That's it, Coy. It's got to be Coy, because the Baz is up and into 7th place, and it was Koikap made a small mistake and slipped down the order, and that gives Baz another position. Big Dan He's miles ahead of Baz. He's got no chance. Big Dan's chasing Homesick Alien down. Up at the lead, we've got Matt Psycho absolutely rinsing it out there at the moment and leaving Anton Poika out to dry. Beautiful driving from the pair of these two. Daz, oh, Daz, it hurts me. It hurts me. It's painful to know that he was leading this race. He'd done nothing wrong all race, absolutely perfect drive, and then just one little clip of the pit lane barrier. But look at him, he's closing in on Anton Poika. He's a man determined. We're 12.5 minutes into this 15-minute race, and he can still do it. He can still do it if we all believe. We've just got to believe, and Daz can finish ahead of Anton Poika in the chat. Pat saying you need to save the complaining for tonight, remember? Yeah, you're right, Pat, sorry. The Brown said, no, Daz. That must have been when he lost the lead. Pat saying, have you watched the trailer yet, Ensign Newer? Have you? Ensign Newer saying, yes, Pat. Ensign Newer saying, I've heard good things about Strange New Worlds. Not seen it though, I don't have Paramount Plus. Well, Ensign, come here. Don't tell anyone, but you've got to find a dodgy guy that you work with, some dodgy fella, and an Amazon Fire Stick. That's all I've got to say about that. That's how I've managed to do it. But yeah, an Amazon Fire Stick and someone who's a bit dodgy. God, what happened to the lights? So Daz has closed in and about 65 quid. That's it. Sorted. Hang on, the door's going FBI here. So, Daz is unbelievable, and he this season, I mean, he disappeared for a while because he had a new knee. He had a super knee replaced, put in. And he's come back and he's absolutely balling it. He really is. He's a baller. Matt Psycho, though, unbelievable round for Matt Psycho here at Colorado Springs. It's a stunning drive by the Psycho with Daz in second place. Oh, he's got it done. Oh, what? We watched him for so long. What the shit? Schnizzle, man. We were watching for so long, and it must have happened just as we went to look at Matt. What the hell? So Daz then, we know what the outcome of this is, but we'll see how it happened. And it was under braking. He just, well, yeah, just under braking. Unbelievable stuff. Just slips up the inside of Anton Poika, and it's Daz up into second place. And I don't think Matt Psycho is touchable now. Matt Psycho's catching up with the back runners. And it's Cthulhu in fourth. Homesick Alien stays ahead of Big Dan, but Big Dan stayed with him all the way. The Baz is all on his own. Koi Carp has got some stress from Pat. Pat giving it large just behind Koi to try and get by him with Skyjacker out of it. And it's Matt Psycho then comes across the line with only a second to go. So Daz is going to do it again. He doesn't have to do that extra lap. Beautiful stuff. And it's Daz coming home for second place. Beautiful stuff. Anton Poika finishes in third. Take a view, my son. And Cthulhu gets a fourth. And what a cracking race these lads have had up here at the front end. And it's Cthulhu then gets fourth place with Homesick Alien coming home in fifth, and it looks like he's lost the threat of Big Dan somewhat as he comes around that final corner, aims it at the flag and grabs himself an okay bunch of points. Big Dan in sixth. Great cracking race with the Alien there in that final race. The Bazza in seventh. Mr. Consistency. I think he finished seventh pretty much every time. But not bad haul of points, especially on Skyjacker, Koi Carp and Pat. And the Bazza, that's who he's fighting, I think. No jokers, he's on holiday. So we'll get by him. Yeah, he's chasing after Koi. I don't know where Skyjacker is in the championship. Oh, he's finished, sorry, Baz. Here comes Koi. I was looking at the championship table. Koi up in 8th, with Pat finishing in 9th. And I thought Pat was chasing down Pat, and Skyjacker decided to go through the pits again. Maybe he's doing it so I can watch the end of the race. And Matt Psycho takes the win, So Matt Psycho, 2 wins out of the race. That has got to really propel him up the table. He has missed a round, though. It's already dropped around. Daz, a great bunch of results for him. Hang on. Because I don't know how long the timer is. You can't see the cars, so what's the point? But there you go. Not even the rear view. Hang on. What about if I do that? That's not even any good either. No. Oh, I don't know. So we're just looking at the list at the top, really, because there's no point looking at the cars. Matt Psycho getting another win with Daz coming home in 2nd place. He could have had a win today, could Daz, but you know, if horses were wishes, we'd all be eating steak, I think is what they say. And Daz, so 2nd place, Cthulhu, for flipping hell's sake. Anton Poicat coming home in 3rd, a cracking bunch of podiums there. And I think most of them were on the podium pretty much every race, weren't they? It was, it seemed that way. What a race. It's fantastic, even though we couldn't see much in most of it. It was a beautiful set of racing. Maybe not so much for Skyjacker, but he said he had fun, even though he was finishing last in every race. So then we had Cthulhu in 4th, Homesick Alien coming home in 5th place. Big Dan in 7th. You can't see nothing, I know. Bazza coming... No, Big Dan in 6th. Sorry, that's not a bad race for Big Dan. Bazza coming home in 7th. Koi Carp in 8th. With Pat in 9th. And Skyjacker again in 10th. But Skyjacker just enjoyed that pit lane just too much. And Ensign, you were saying cough, Viper Festival cough. Yes, I know. It needs to be done, and we will see when I can fit it in. So, yeah, well done. Matt Psycho, 2 wins from this one. Great stuff. I was your broadcaster and your commentator, Betty Drilser. Thank you for joining us here at the VRC, the Virtual Racers Club, for the WRX Challenge, Round 5, Season 5. It was a blinder in the dark. And I think that's everything. Oh, yeah, pit stop on Sunday evening. Maybe another random stream sometime today before pit stop, or it might be Monday evening. Who knows? But next week we've got Tuesday night racing. No, I think it might have been postponed because the lovers are out. The lovers are out. It's Valentine's Day. Thursday night, back again with some WRX. I'm off of Discord now. I can't tell you what track it is. I do apologise. I think that's it. And Friday is the start of a new championship. It won't be streamed, but it'll be replayed like this. Sorry, distracted. Peace and love. Peace and love, y'all. Show me the money.